Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram.
Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Ram.
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare.
Krishna, Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Ram.
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Jai
Krishna.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Monday. It is the 6th of May, and it is Vaisakha Masa or Madhusudana Masa, Krishna Paksam, and Trayodasi Tithi. So there are no Vaishnavas today. So we shall quickly move into Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Savanaka sage is speaking to Goswami and condemning the material people who are not the devotees of Krishna, saying in the last two verses, so he was completely condemning that they are the just like a dead body who are not taking the dust of lotus feet of the devotees. So even though they are living in their lifetime, so they are always dead bodies. And who has not tasted the aroma or the smell of the tulsi leaves which are offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, they are just, even though breathing, they are just like a dead body. And even though after chanting so many times and hearing and glorifying the Lord in his heart, if he doesn't get any feelings, if there is no change in the heart, such a kind of heart is a steel framed heart. Likewise, Savan Passage is saying, so Jivachavo Bhagavatamgrirenu Najatu Mattebe Labetayestu Sri Vishnu Padyam Manjustuli Tulasyaha Sasancho Yestu Naveda Gandham and Tadasmasaram Hridayam Batedam Yit Grishamanaihi Harinamadeyahi Navikriyetada Yada Vikaro Netre Jalam Gatra Ruheshu Harshaha. So the tears are not flowing and there is no change in the heart, even though after glorifying the Lord for so long, such kind of heart is still failing. Tadasmasaram Hridayam Batedam. So likewise, Savalika Sage is saying further, now he is concluding now. So what his speech, his request to the Suta Goswami, saying that, O Suta Goswami, so all your words are pleasing to us. Whatever so far you have explained to us, they are very pleasing. And we are desiring to hear again and again. And these words are spoken by Sukadeva Goswami, who is the greatest Bhagavata, who is expert in the Atma Vidya. So these words were spoken to Parikshit Maharaj. So please explain all of this to all of us. Likewise, Savanaka sage, he is concluding his request. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 3, and verse number 25. So this is the last verse of the chapter 3. अतापि देशङ्गमनूनुकूलं प्रभाषसे भागवतप्रधानः यदा ह वैयासकी आत्मविद्या विशारदोन्मुकृतिं साधु पृष्टः अथ अभिदेहि अंगमनु अनुकूलम. So atha of thereafter abhidehi. So please explain all of these things to Anga, O Suta Goswami. Atha abhidehanga manonukulam manaha anukulam. These are all favorable to our mentality. We are all sadhus. So we have come here for the well-being of the entire world. So we are performing this the Satra Yaga, which for a longer period of time for the well-being of the world. So Manonukulam, we are the devotees of the Lord. We would like to hear all these things. So Manonukulam. Ata Abhidehi Anga Manonukulam. Prabhashase Bhagavata Pradanaha. Prabhashase. So you do speak. So you speak all these things to us. Prabhashase Bhagavata Pradanaha. And the great devotee, the chief, or the great devotee of the Lord, Bhagavata Pradanaha. Out of the devotees, he is the chief, Bhagavata Pradanaha. Who is that? This is Yadaha Vayasaki Atma Vidya. Yadaha. So that is spoken by Vayasaki, that is son of Vyasadeva, that is Sukadeva Goswami. He spoke that one. What is that? Atma Vidya. And also he is mentioning Visharadaha. So Sukadeva Goswami is Atma Vidya Visharadaha. He is very expert in the transcendental knowledge. Drupatim Sadhu Prushtaha, and it was requested and inquired by Maharaja Parikshit. Sadhu Prushtaha. So likewise, Savanaka said is concluding. So requesting Sutta Goswami to explain more what are the further conversations between Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. अताभिदेहंग मनोनुकूलं प्रभाषसे भागवत प्रदानः यदाह वैयासकिः आत्मविद्या विशारदो नृपतिं साधु पृष्टः. So translation for this verse. O Sutta Goswami, your words are pleasing to our minds. Please therefore explain this to us as it was spoken by the great devotee Sukadeva Goswami, who is very expert in transcendental knowledge, and who spoke to Maharaja Parikshit upon being asked. And purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request any devotees to read this small purport? It is only 2 lines only.
I will
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Knowledge explained by the previous acharyas like Sukadev Goswami and followed by the next like Sutta Goswami is always powerful transcendental knowledge, and it is therefore penetrating and useful to all submissive students. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the second canto, third chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Pure Devotional Service, the Change in Heart.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. So here in this purport, Prabhupada is mentioning how the transcendental knowledge is coming down from the acharyas. One has to hear and follow in their footsteps, like Sukadeva Goswami and Sutta Goswami. So Sutta Goswami, he has heard very, very attentively when Parikshit was speaking to, when Sukadeva Goswami speaking to Parikshit at the banks of Ganges River. So he mentioned to the Saunaka series in the beginning, Tatra Kirtayato Vipra Viprasya Bhuri Tejasaha Aham cha Adhikamam Tatra Nivishtaha Tad Anugrahat Nivishtaha Tad Anugrahat. Very attentively with rapt attention, I have heard everything properly. So Soham va Shravashyami Yataditam Yatamati. Whatever I have heard exactly, I will describe everything as it is. Soham va Shravashyami Yataditam Yatamati. Just as it is, without any adulteration and change. So likewise, Sutta Goswami said, he is Nivishtaha Tadanugrahad. His name is Vugrashrava. Vugrashrava means whoever is hearing with grave attention. Vugrashrava. Sutta Goswami. So here, Prabhupada is explaining, so they are giving that knowledge as it is without any change. So Sutta Goswami is always powerful, and he is saying, Acharya like Sukadeva Goswami and followed by the next like Sruta Goswami is always powerful transcendental knowledge, and it is therefore penetrating and useful to all submissive students. This is Tadvidya Pranipadena Pariprashnena Sevaya. Krishna is mentioning Upadekshintite Jnanam Jnanaha Tattvadarshinaha. They have seen that knowledge, they will give. So here, Savanaka said he is pleasing Sudha Goswami to explain more. And they, even though they know it already, some transcendental knowledge on it, Bhagavatam. And now, again, they are asking very pleasingly to please Sudha Goswami. That is the way of inquiring and getting the transcendental knowledge. So Prabhupada is saying that. So, and all these conversations, they're exactly aligning to the Krishna's instructions in the Bhagavad Gita. They are not separate. Krishna's Bhagavad Gita is the index, and further, these are the further explanations with the examples from the universal point of view. And among the conversations and lives of devotees that has happened in the past. So, that will penetrate and useful to all submissive students. That is Prabhupada is explaining. So likewise, Saunuka sage is requesting Suta Goswami to say more. अताभिदेहिंग मनोनुकूलं प्रभाषसे भागवत प्रदानः यदाह वैयासकिः आत्मविद्या विशारदो नृपतिं साधु पृष्टः. So likewise, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly go into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today letter to Gurudasa, February 11, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request Gaurangi Mataji to read this letter, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. My dear Gurudasa, please accept my blessing. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 4th February 1970 regarding Vishnu Jana's call to London. He has already replied in Tamala and Mukunda's letter with statement of Vishnu Jana himself. For the time being, Vishnujana cannot be separated from Los Angeles. Spread Los Angeles. There are four experienced workers here, out of whom Vishnujana is one, and three have already gone outside. Under the circumstances, he can go to London immediately. But I have advised Hangsadutta to go there, and if his service can be utilized in London, because in Sankirtana he is as good as Vishnujana, then it is all right. Uh, Otherwise, he will go to Germany. I can follow that Vishnujana service is very much needed in London, but he is as much needed in Los Angeles also. So, how he can be separate for London at the cost of Los Angeles business? So, for brahmacharis are concerned, majority of advanced students are in London. So, why they should be locking in training to in those these new brahmacharis. In the meantime, I received one letter from Bal Mukunda uh, Parikh. The copy of the letter and the copy of the reply also is enclosed herewith for your careful um, considerance from the spirit of the latter, it appears that the Indian community in London will hesitate to cooperate with our movement because they are under the impression that our members are not working outside for earning their bread. Mm, but they have taken to this Sankirtana movement as means of uh, livelihood. That will be a bad impression and will go against our movement. The court case is pending, and is somebody says against us that there is a partly beginning in the street for uh, livelihood. That will be great blood, so as suggested by Mr. Parikh. Why some of the new members may not take this work anyway. Anyway, I do not know what is the actual situation. You consider this letter of Mr. Parikh very sincerely, and try to convince Mr. Parikh and other Indian members that we are not beginning for livelihood, but it is for expansion of the Krishna consciousness movement, and members who are free are working outside and giving the result of their work for Krishna consciousness movement. So you kindly reply this letter, what you are doing in this connection. I hope this find you in good health. Your ever will wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. P.S. Please secure the address in Jaipur, India of the Sri Murti manufacturers. You will get it from Mr. Goyal, who donate the Radha Krishna deity in London temple. Tamala and Mukunda knows the address of Mr. Goel, or you may have it in your office life. I want such murtis for other centers. Please, therefore, send the address immediately. AC Bhaktivedanta Swami. Uh, that one I don't know, Prabhuji.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. Any take your points, Mataji, from this letter?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhupada talking about London, who have here devotees. They are doing um, Prabhupada mission. Then also some which Mr. Goel give to sponsored by deity. He talking about that. Many things talking about, but I cannot say properly, Prabhuji. You can explain now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very nicely read and summarized.
Thank
Any other comments, dear devotees? Ramlala Prabhuji, any?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Yes, because it's many things. Actually, Prabhupada mentioned about the preaching. Those who are good preachers, they need everywhere in this world. Even one of the devotee in London, he can do, as well as Prabhupada need in Los Angeles, in USA as well. So, but it is one person is difficult to move here and there. But he suggested him to do preaching London inside the Europe. This is the another point actually Prabhupada mentioned about the London temple and the deity, Mr. Goel. Although this letter he mentioned he has donated. Actually, donated is indirectly, but is another history, and Tamal Krishna Maharaj was there at that time, Tamal Krishna Goswami, and that's why to invite them, that Goel family, because from where the deity arrived. This is the first installation deity in Europe. So, and Prabhupada remembered everything, who did, who was activities in this movement. So, these are the important point, but there is other things as well. How preaching Sankirtan is very important. That is the how it was doing and how it was running. But I found such important key point. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Any other comments? Okay, so and also here Prabhupada is mentioned. So Hare Krishna devotees, they are mentioning they're begging in the streets for their livelihood. It is kind of a misunderstanding about the Indian community, and Parikh has sent a letter to Prabhupada. So, and then Prabhupada is sending that letter, and also Prabhupada has replied to Parikh, Bal Mukund Parikh, and sending that letter and the reply also to Gurudas Prabhuji for careful consideration. So, Hare Krishna movement for anything, Brahman as part of the Brahmanas, the what are the quality? He can take the charity and give the charity to the others. So it is a not against the law. So previously also Prabhupada has mentioned, and also as per the Shastric injunctions, they are not attached to hold the wealth. They wanted to spend everything for Krishna only. And also here, but these people are not sometimes Indian community. They are not going to cooperate if they think that we are just doing this one for our livelihood. So Prabhupada is mentioning that this is also, if anyone says against our Hare Krishna movement, so then it will be blot. That will be great blot. So otherwise it will be taking a lot of time. Of course, it will not be against the Krishna consciousness movement, but unnecessary time and energy will be spent. So Prabhupada is mentioning, just consider it and deal with accordingly. That is one thing. So, but generally, devotees when go in the state, it is only for distributing the books. That is the main thing, and then also receiving the donations from the devotees for spreading Krishna consciousness movement. Okay, so that is from this letter.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I add little thing?
Yes, Prabhuji.
It was at that time also Prabhupada or others they faced in the media, especially in the TV or at that time TV and newspaper. They considered Hare Krishna movement when they distribute Harinam, distribute book, they consider it is their begging. So it was their understanding why they are begging. So it's not is clearly mentioned, it's repeatedly in different places. So it is actually charity. Charity means they distribute books and they get something accordingly. And it is a donation is spontaneously. It's not to force anyone, and we are not misunderstood. That is, we are not going for deliberate. It's not. It's Krishna's arrangement, and we distribute these things. This one thing, and another thing it was mentioned, because this mission we should not hesitate. We should cooperate each other. That is the important thing. Otherwise, our mission cannot progress. And especially you mentioned Indian community. Thank you, sir.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, thank you for adding all these points, Prabhuji. Yes, this is for doing anything, either it is materially or spiritually, to execute few things, it needs time, some land, and also some labor to work. So it needs all kinds of things. So otherwise, it is not possible. And what is it? It is not for on the personal ground here. That outside people may not be seeing complete the life of the Hare Krishna devotees. And in order to print the books, we need some land, we need machinery, we need labor to distribute the books. It is a very great work. So that also, but here, whoever is sometimes advertising in the newspapers, it is one or two people who take the decision to keep the title like that. It doesn't reflect the great movement. So because they are not the devotees yet, so they will use such kind of words. But ultimately, sometimes it is also makes the spreading of the words about Hare Krishna movement in different way, but ultimately it will everything coincide with Krishna. So it is Krishna's way. Sometimes some demonic people will also come. That will be for a good purpose. That will be for a good purpose to increase the fame of the goodness. So that is in another way. But yeah, Prabhupada is asking to deal such kind of things carefully. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji. And from the announcements point of view, so tomorrow evening, Tuesday, our preaching practice session. Our session is with our speaker is Her Grace Supriya Gopi Mataji is going to speak tomorrow. And Wednesday, I request dear devotees, if you have got any kirtans to do, any kirtans and bhajans, bring, and we all going to do it. And here devotees have to come up with your own initiatives. So that is for Kirtan evenings. That's all from the upcomings. I shall send a format. So initial Kirtan and then Kirtan 1, Kirtan 2, Kirtan 3, and then the Simha prayers. So like a 5 sections, and the devotees can choose who are wanted to take the first slot like that. They can take it. Once again, I'll send a poll kind of thing. So tomorrow or something like that. That's all from announcements side from me. And dear devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything from the 24-hour Kirtan Mela, or you wanted to share anything else on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, actually, everyone, we are very one of the important preacher in ISKCON movement. He passed but he was very, how much he did. We is now who are in this movement, they understand, they can realize one of the great personality, one of the great pure soul. His dedication, his works, really is eternally. We can remember, we can learn from his one of the exemplary devotee. So we have to remember him. So as a pure devotee and a strong preacher, strong leader, everything nicely, and satisfying Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for so it is His Holiness Gopala Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Yeah, it is a great loss to our moment. And
And another point, actually, it is His Holiness Jaipataka Guru Maharaj also sick. His condition is not good. We have to pray for him as well. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yeah, we pray for all these great souls. They did a lot for Hare Krishna movement. Okay, so thank you so much, Prabhuji. Any other updates from Birmingham Kirtan Mela? No? Okay, so otherwise you can share it later on as well. Thank you so much. That's all from today, from the announcements point of view. And if you are happy, we shall conclude and continue with further japa. पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि वैष्णवी की जय शिल प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्ण कॉन्शियस डे
Hare Krishna.